my little butterflies. In this video is going to be my review on The Body in the Woods by April Henry. Now, I finished this book in October and I never recorded my review for it. Now, you know, I told you guys I'm just like so backed up on reviews, it is ridiculous. And I thought, but this is one book that I thought I filmed the review on already, and I went to go upload it and I could not find it. So I guess apparently I did not have it. I am in complete chill mode right now, so I mean, I still think I'm cute, but sorry, I'm not as much as I usually am when I do my videos. This is my first day off that I've had in a while. And I didn't even feel like getting dressed. I had on sweatpants and just threw a tie-dye shirt. I threw my hair in a ponytail, puff thingy, whatever you want to call it. And I have no makeup on. And I usually try to have makeup on for these videos just because my skin is just so shiny, like just in my T-zone area. And I don't know if you can see in the shine right now, but usually when the light hits me, it looks like I have like bacon grease on my face. And I just look way shiny, but I just did not feel like putting on makeup today. So I hope it doesn't bother you guys too much, and if it does, then oh well. But this book, I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars. I liked it, but I didn't get what I expected to get. I had high expectations for this book, and I don't know why. I guess just because it was Halloween time, and you know, I expected to be a little bit more spooky and mysterious, and I got a little mysterious feeling, but I thought it was gonna be like way more, like gonna have me on my toes, like, and I wasn't really on my toes for this book. So this book is about the 3 main characters are Alexis, Ruby, and Nick, and they are part of the SAR, which is a search and rescue team in their local town, and they get called out of class one day to look for, I can't remember if it's a Down syndrome man, I think it is. They got called out of class to look for the Down syndrome man that got lost in the woods. So all of a sudden they just get paired together and they go looking for this guy in the woods, but then they meet a lot of people going up the trail and they're asking him, hey, have you seen him? You know, some people are a little bit, you know, too friendly, and then others are just like, I don't have time for this, and like just run off. So in that right there, in my mind, I was like, they are suspicious, like all of them. Then they end up stumbling across this dead body in the woods instead of the Down syndrome man that they were looking for. With the discovery of the dead body in the woods comes everything else. They don't know who the girl is at first, you know, but they're trying to link it to other murders. They, as in Ruby, really, she is like really into the detective stuff, and she was doing like mad research trying to link her to other murders and trying to say there's a serial killer out there. So this book is just basically about them finding who the serial killer is, and they have like family issues going on like in between the lines, and I kind of like that it wasn't just about this body in the woods. Like they was having real family issues too with our individual characters. So I really did like that in this book. At first when I started reading this book, I thought that they were going to be friends already. Like I thought they were going to be like an established friend group already when the book started, but they were not. Like, okay, so Ruby and Alexis used to be friends when Alexis first came to town, but then Alexis started to push her away for her own reasons, which is she said Ruby gets too close and she asks too many questions. So she started to push away from Ruby. And then Nick is just self-absorbed, and I can say Ruby is my favorite character and Nick was my most hated character in this book. He was just so egotistical with himself. Like he thought he was better. He didn't deserve to be put in a group with beginners. He should have been at the top of the pole, and he was too much. So I didn't really care for him. I don't even see how they can like tolerate him, because I would not be able to do it. I would have just long time ago just been deuces, like get away from me. Alexis in the book said so many times that Ruby was really weird, but in like from my point of view, Alexis was the weird one. Like she was just really closed off and standoffish. I was just like, okay, you're the weird one. You shouldn't be calling anyone else weird, because look at your situation. So it's like there's no need for name calling. Like the one thing that I really enjoyed in this book was like out of nowhere, you get a chapter that is from the murderer's like point of view. Like, yes, and I didn't expect that in this book. I didn't expect that in here. I had high expectations, but that is not one of the expectations that I expected from this book. And that's when I started to get sucked in, because I really wasn't sucked into this book until that chapter. And I was like, oh my God, he's like watching them and he's seeing everything go down. I can only imagine who eyes this is happening from. I mean, I had my own suspicions from the beginning who it was, and it kind of faltered in the beginning, but I came right back to him and I was like, yeah, it has to be him. And it turned out that it was definitely him, and I was just like, yeah. Because at first I was like, yeah, it has to be him, but then I started letting their decisions sway me, and I was like, maybe it's not him. But then something happened, I was like, yeah, it's him. It's definitely him. The thing that made me mad in this book, Nick is just such a coward. Like, he tried to make himself way bigger for a life that he does not live. And stuff happens and he just runs off, but he wants to bask in all the glory at the end and say, well, I did this. I'm the reason we found this and all this. He's just attention hungry, and I didn't like it. I don't like attention craving people. That just I didn't like him. Like, they made me not like him more. Like, just to see him do stuff like that, and I was like, really? When I was reading this, I felt like I was watching an episode of Criminal Minds. And speaking of Criminal Minds, how about that Matthew Goobler? Like, I love him. Oh, Spencer Reed. Like, I love nerds. Nerds are hot. Like, don't tell my fiance, but oh my God, I love him so much. Like, I will watch Criminal Minds just to stare in his face. Like, I love him. He is bae. Oh yes, Spencer Reed, Matthew Goobler, you are bae. Like, I want you to know that you are bae. So like, find me, please. I feel like April Henry took way too long to reveal the issue that Alexis was going through. So through the book, she's just saying, oh well, this person asks too many questions, she's too close, and you kind of get the feel that it's something, you know, going on with her mom. And I thought that her mom was like addicted to drugs, was like an addict. But when the real reason comes up, I'm like, oh, okay. But it wasn't as big of a thing for me because I feel like she took too long to reveal it. Like, we went through so many chapters of her, you know, looking for her and her mom acting this way, and I'm like, why can't she just spit it out and say what's the issue? Like, so when she did reveal it, it wasn't that big of a bomb for me anymore. I didn't really care anymore at that point because she took too long to let it go. The thing with Ruby, I cannot believe her parents were seriously trying to limit her talent. Like, she's really smart. You can see, like, reading this book, that she would make a great detective. Like, or anything. She's like really smart, and her parents are just so protective that they were limiting her abilities and her skills just because they, oh well, we don't want you in that kind of, we don't want you to see these kind of things, we don't want you to know about death and stuff. Like, one day we are all going to die. She's old enough to know that, and she does know that, but her parents, I feel like her parents want to make her seem like she's 5 years old and she don't know about the circle of life. Like, that's what I feel like is happening in this book, and then her parents just make me so upset because I feel like if I had a child had that kind of talent, I would encourage them. Now, would I encourage you to go look for dead bodies? No, but I would encourage you to use your talent. I would not ground you for doing something you believe in, like in this book, like that was something constructive. She's helping someone, you know. But her parents just upset me. Like, you should be happy your child is this smart, you know. She found something that she fits in, and y'all just trying to ruin it. And I'm like, y'all trying to sabotage her on purpose. Like, that's how I felt. I was just so done with her family. I was like, go away. So many times in this book, I was like, no, don't go in there. Like, stop it. That's stupid. Don't drink that. Like, don't take any of that stuff. Like, what are you doing? That's just so stupid. Like, I was screaming like I was looking at a movie while I was reading this book. I was like, oh my God, why would you do that? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, don't be so dumb. Get your stuff together. Like, don't you see this? And it's like, I love Ruby so much. She's my favorite character, and she is so smart, but she was so dumb at certain times. I was like, how could you not see this? Like, why would you just be that easy? Like, I was just, wow. Like, why would you I was like, you was just so bright, use your brain. Like, okay, she's book smart, but she's not very street smart. Like, let me say that, okay? So I feel like she should have been a little bit street smart. But then when Nick starts to get a crush on Alexis, I'm like, no, stop it. Stop, pause, cut that out, don't do that. Because I just could not see them as a couple. You know, I was like, no way, that would not work. Because Alexis is like a really sweet girl. And like, even though Nick isn't a douchebag, he's not a bad guy. He's just too egotistical and wrapped up in himself. It would never work. And I don't like that in a guy. Like, don't be such an egomaniac. Like, I don't like guys like that. Like, get out of yourself, like, sometimes, like, you know. I'm like protesting this in this book when I was reading it. When he starts saying, oh, he got a crush or he liked her, she's more prettier than he thought, I was like, no way, that would not work. And like, to me, from her point of view, he isn't even her type. Like, I was like, no way, that would not work. Never. I got wrapped up in the story when I started to see the murderer's perspective, but I got like really pulled into the story by like chapter 28 when he killed his third victim, because I guess because everything was just starting to get just so heavy with the plot, and I was just like, like started to come to a head. So that's when I really got wrapped up in the story. Like, I got like that, like, it was like I was wrapped up in it and they had me wrapped around the finger by that point. That's what really drew me in. But like, just to think about not being like really wrapped up in the book until like the 28th chapter is like preposterous. Like, I like to be pulled into a book before the 28th chapter. So, you know, yeah. I just cannot wait to the part, and I wanted to see the look on the detective's face when for him just being just so mean and rude to Ruby, trying to say, oh, she don't know what she's talking about and she was right and he was wrong. I just could not wait to see his face. Like, I wanted to see his face. Like, I just wanted a video, just a part, just to see the look on his face when he had to apologize to her for being just such an ass, you know. Like, that when that happened, you just want to see that look on a person's face. When that part happened, I was like, yeah, I apologize because you were wrong and you was mean to her and she was just trying to help you. So basically, this book it had more mystery than horror, and it was more of an anytime read than a Halloween read. It wasn't really fit for Halloween because it wasn't really scary, but it will make you paranoid. I will say that, because after I read this book, I was like, I don't know why, I just had this paranoia. Like, everywhere I went, I just felt like somebody was watching me. You know, I was like, I was, you know, really cautious about talking to people after reading this book. And I didn't think this book had that much of an effect on me until after that. And I was just like, wow, this book has made me like so paranoid. Like, I would hear noises and swear to God, somebody was like outside the window or something. Like, it was insane after this book. It was an okay book. And I mean like okay as in I might pick up the second book. The second book comes out next year. And it's supposed to be more about Nick. I think it's supposed to be more about Nick being framed for a murder that happened, and like he's being framed for it. The second book sounds better than this book. I don't know. I have a couple months to make up my mind. I might pick up the second book just to see if I have the same feelings like I had for this book, or if if it got better. So it wasn't that bad of a read where I'm just like, I'm not picking up anymore from her. So I do want to pick up that book. And depending on how that book go, I might want to read more from her if she has more, just to see what she's like as an author, like as a whole. The beginning was not very good for me of the book, but the ending did end off on a better note. I'm glad that, you know, I started off kind of like but then I ended like, oh, okay, that was pretty good. So I'm happy I had a better ending with this book than I did the beginning. So I didn't end off on too much of a sour note. So I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. I do recommend it because it wasn't that bad of a book, but don't go in with high expectations. Come in with like a 3 out of 5 star expectation, because that's what it was. It's a quick read. It was really more fun than scary, really. So pick this book up. You know, tell me what you think. I mean, if it don't sound like your cup of tea, 3 out of 5 star books aren't for you, then, you know, don't pick it up. You know, I don't want you to waste your money, because, you know, it was alright. You know, it was alright. You know, it wasn't nothing to lose my breath over, but it was pretty good. So yeah, that's my review. Thank you guys for watching my review and staying with me. And, you know, sorry I'm late, like really late on this book. So thank you guys so much, and see you guys in my next video. Bye.